Hello everyone. In today's class, we'll discuss the second part of your second chapter, that is microorganisms, friend or foe. In this chapter, we've already discussed in the first class that there are different types of microorganisms and there are basically five major groups of microorganisms. These are bacteria, virus, algae, fungi and protozoa. So what are microorganisms? The organisms which we cannot see with our naked eyes, we need a microscope to see them. Now in this class, we'll discuss about the various beneficial and harmful effects we get from microorganisms in details. Okay, so I'll recommend all of you, before watching this class, those who have missed the last class or those who have any confusion, go and watch the last class and then come to this class and watch this, then it will be more clear to you. Okay. So let us start today with a good message. Your future depends on what you do today, and your today has already started. What does this mean? In this situation, this COVID situation, if we think that we are not having school and teachers are doing online, giving us online class, and you stop studying, what will happen? It will ultimately affect your future. So what you will do today, your activities will lead to a good future. Okay, if you don't study today, then ultimately the exam will suffer. Okay, and in future also you'll face many problems. So do all your works continuously. Okay, don't stop for this COVID situation. All of your teachers are giving a good effort for you, so you should learn properly everything. Okay, don't miss anything, don't skip anything, you learn everything, and if any doubt, you consult with the respective teachers, all will discuss everything related to your doubts. Okay, and if you think no, I'll start from tomorrow, today let's rest, it's a weekend time, so let's rest today, from tomorrow I'll start, your tomorrow will never come. Okay, remember, if you want to start from today, and your today is already started, so remember this. So let us move back into the chapter. Microorganisms, as the chapter name says, useful. Either they are friend or foe. That means they are our friend or enemy. Okay, so let us first learn about the useful feature. Useful microorganisms. Microorganisms can be useful to us in various ways, such as in making of food, commercial use and medicinal use. That means here we will learn basically three features of microorganisms. First is in making of food, second is in commercial use, and third is medicinal use. Okay, one by one we will learn all three. The first is making of food, the use of microorganisms in making of food. The first example you all know, the curd. Okay, you all have we all eat curd, so the microorganisms helps in preparation of curd. Bacteria helps in making of food items such as curd, cheese, bread and pastries. First is curd. How curd is formed? Curd is formed with the help of lactobacillus bacteria. What happens in this process? Curd is formed when a protein called casein, or casein is present where? In milk. A protein casein is present in the milk. Okay, clumps together to form a solidified mass. When a number of proteins, for example, if this is one casein protein, okay, this is casein, okay, if this is one casein protein present in a milk tub, then there will be number of casein protein which will clump together or come together, and they will form a clump structure. Okay, and this clump structure, dense structure, is ultimately known as your curd. Then this is converted into curd. So curd is formed when a protein called casein present in milk clumps together to form a solidified mass, solid mass. Okay, casein coagulation takes place only when milk is acidic. So when this casein protein coagulation means becoming solidification, that means coagulation means something like changing its color or the density, it is related with that. Okay, in common sense. So when it facilitates the coagulation process when the milk is acidic. So how the milk will become acidic? Now this bacteria lactobacillus, okay, lactobacillus. This bacteria lactobacillus will come, and what it will do, as its name said, lacto, it will give lactic acid. Okay, it will give the milk lactic acid, and this acid will help the milk to become acidic. And while the milk will become acidic, in acidic milk, the casein protein will coagulate to form the curd. First you have milk, give some lactobacillus bacteria. The bacteria will convert, or bacteria will form lactic acid. Okay, and this lactic acid will make the milk acidic. The milk will now become acidic, and in acidic medium, what will happen? In acidic medium, the casein protein will coagulate and ultimately form a solidified mass known as curd. So next question comes, how this bacteria forms lactic acid? So the lactobacillus bacteria, what they eat, they in their life process, because they are living in milk. Okay, when you are giving them to the milk, they are living in milk. What they do in the life process, they use lactose sugar. In milk, sugar is there, right? In milk is sweet in taste, so it is having sugar. In milk, sugar is there. So whenever you are giving bacteria, lactobacillus bacteria to it, the lactobacillus bacteria, they use this sugar and they perform the fermentation process, and they convert this sugar into lactic acid. Remember this. What does the bacteria do? They convert the lactose sugar present on the milk to lactic acid. Lactobacillus bacteria convert lactose sugar to lactic acid, all lacto, remember. Okay, so this is the basic process of conversion of milk to curd. I guess it is clear. Now let us move into next. Cheese and paneer are also made by the action of lactobacillus and streptococcus bacteria on milk. So we all eat cheese and paneer also. These are also made by the action of this same bacteria, lactobacillus and streptococcus, another bacteria. Okay, they help in this formation of cheese and paneer. Then in our everyday life, we eat bread, pastries and cakes. Who helps this? To prepare this, yeast cells are used in baking bacteria. Yeast cells, remember what is used? We use yeast. Okay, what is yeast? Is a bacteria? No. In last class we have learned yeast is a fungi. Okay, we use yeast for baking. For baking bread, yeast, how it is done? First we will mix yeast, sugar and flour is mixed to make dough. Okay, or dough. Then what will happen? In this mixture, what is there? It is kept in a one place. Okay, this mixture is kept in one place. If you can relate with the baking process, first people mix yeast, sugar and flour, then it is kept in a one place. Then what will happen? The yeast is a living fungus. What will do? Living thing yeast eats. So yeast will eat sugar present on the dough. Okay, then during the breakdown of sugar, the eating means what? In the previous example I told, lactobacillus bacteria, what they do? They eat the lactose sugar and convert into lactic acid. Similarly here also, if it is eating, in return it will convert it to something, or it will do some action. During the breakdown, that is eating of sugar, what they will do? Alcohol and CO2 are formed. What is formed in this process? Alcohols and CO2. In the previous fermentation process, in case of curd, it was from lactic acid, and in this process it is CO2 and alcohol formed. Okay, the dough rises due to CO2. As CO2 is there, it will rise in shape or volume. Okay, when dough is used to make bread, it is baked. Okay, CO2 escapes from loaf, making it light and fluffy. When you, now it is left for some time. Now when next step is, it is to give some baking process, gone through some baking process. So in this baking process, what will happen? When it is used for baking, CO2 is a gas, so it will evaporate out. Okay, the gas will evaporate out, and when the gas will evaporate out, nothing will enter in the place of gas. For example, if this is a what should I say, piece of bread, here some pores are there, okay. If you've seen in from these pores, for example, the CO2 gas have evaporated out. Now these gaps are empty, making the loop light, because the gas has gone out, so the weight will be light, okay, and fluffy, it will be fluffy, okay. So the next example is use of microorganisms in making of idli and dosa, okay. For making an idli and dosa, the mixture of ground rice and dal is first allowed to stand for few hours. How it is made? First, the mixture of ground rice and dal is kept for some hours, okay. This mixture then rises and becomes sour due to the growth of yeast cell. So what will happen? In this mixture, its cell will grow, okay, and due to the growth of yeast cell and its activities like fermentation and other what you have read in last example, so what will happen, this will cause to change the taste into sour taste, okay. And you all know idli and dosa, these have some sour taste. Some algae like chlorella and seaweeds are used as foods. People also eat algae as food, and there are some seaweeds also which we eat as food, okay. They are a rich source of protein and minerals. We get a huge protein and mineral from this seafood or chlorella, okay. Bacteria act upon tough meat and make it soft. This process is called as tenderization of meat, okay. You must remember this. What is tenderization of meat? The process in which bacteria act upon tough meat to make it soft, okay. Tough meat to soft, the process is known as tenderization. Next is some commercial use. So far you have learned all the application in food items. Now we will learn the commercial use of microorganisms. Yeast is used for commercial purpose for the production of alcohol, beer, wine and acetic acid, okay. So first of all, we know the four use of yeast. The first is for the production of all kind of alcohols, then beer and wine. For these three, yeast is used, and apart from this, acetic acid is also obtained from yeast, okay, or by the application of yeast. For this purpose, yeast is how it is obtained. For this purpose, yeast is grown in a natural sugar present in grains like barley, wheat, rice and fruit juice. The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol by the action of microbes like yeast is called fermentation. So what is fermentation? The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol. Whenever you are giving some microbes, for example yeast, to any sample, for example you want to produce alcohol, so what you will do, in wheat or rice you will give some alcohol, or in fruit juice you will give some yeast cells, you will give some yeast cells you will give some yeast cell to that. And what the yeast cell will do, they will eat the sugars, okay, they will eat the sugars present on this rice or fruit juice or barley, wheat, whatever it is there, and in this process they will produce alcohol. And this process of eating on the sugars and producing alcohol is known as fermentation, okay, is known as fermentation process. Who discovered this? Louis Pasteur discovered this process of fermentation in 1857, okay, remember this. Louis Pasteur discovered this process of fermentation in 1857. Remember one more extra thing. For example, we know our father of nation is Mahatma Gandhi, okay. Similarly, why? Because he have done all the major works for our nation. Similarly, in microbiology, we are reading what? Microbiology. In microbiology, Louis Pasteur is known as the father of microbiology, because all the major works in the field of microbiology, or all the preliminary basic works on which the entire concept of microbiology is built, or it is based today, is given by this scientist name is Louis Pasteur. So he is known as the father of microbiology, okay. Some bacteria are also used in the production of tea, coffee and tobacco. Bacteria is also used in the production of tea, coffee and tobacco. Some bacteria take part in the production of certain acid like lactic acid, citric acid and acetic acid. So lactic acid where? Any idea? Just now we have explained in the process of curd what happens. Lactic acid is produced by the lactobacillus bacteria. So some bacteria take part in the production of the acids like lactic acid. Some other bacteria may help in the production of citric acid and acetic acid. Acetic acid is your vinegar. Where it is used? Vinegar. The first use of vinegar is in case of making of pickles. Okay. Then there are some medicinal use of these microorganisms. Okay. The first is production of antibiotics. Antibiotics, all of you know the term antibiotics. Whenever we get any disease like in fever or anything, the doctor prescribes us antibiotics. What are these antibiotics? When you fall ill, the doctor gives us some antibiotic tablets, capsules or injection. What are antibiotics? Okay, how are they produced? The two basic question. Doctor give us antibiotics, right? We all eat. So what are antibiotics and how these are produced? The medicines produced by organisms such as bacteria and fungi that kill or stop growth of disease-causing microorganisms, pathogens present in our body called antibiotics. What is antibiotics? The medicine produced by organisms such as bacteria and fungi. The medicine produced by bacteria and fungi which help to kill or stop the growth of disease causing microorganisms. We are having some disease, everything is caused by some microorganism, some pathogen is there. Okay, for example, we all are suffering from COVID-19. The COVID-19 is caused by the coronavirus. It is also a an organism. Virus is also an organism. Similarly, for every disease there is some, for most of the disease there are some disease for which, for example, if you are having heart problem, no organism is there. But for viral fever, then sneezing, and this COVID-19, for this kind of diarrhea, for this kind of disease, an organism is there. So what is antibiotic? For example, we are having fungi and bacteria. Okay, this produce some medicine, and this medicine will kill pathogen means the disease causing organism, and these medicines are known as antibiotics. So antibiotics are nothing but the medicines produced by the fungi or bacteria which help to kill or stop the growth of disease causing pathogens in our body. Okay, the source of these antibiotics medicines are microorganisms. So from where we are getting this antibiotic medicine? As we told, fungi and bacteria. So these are microorganisms. So these are source are microorganisms. These days a number of antibiotics are produced from bacteria and fungi. Nowadays a number of antibiotics are produced from bacteria and fungi. What are these? Common example, streptomycin. You have heard some common name like erythromycin, azithromycin, tetracycline, streptomycin. These are some common name. If you have any fever, you go to shop, it will be azithromycin. So this is a antibiotic. Remember this mycin term is for antibiotic. Streptomycin, erythromycin, tetracycline. So this mycin term is for antibiotics. Remember, okay. Whenever you get any term ending with mycin, remember it is a antibiotic. It is an antibiotic. Okay. Tetracycline and erythromycin are some of the commonly known antibiotics that are made from fungi and bacteria. So if the question comes like write 3 antibiotics which you get from microorganisms, the answer will be streptomycin, tetracycline and erythromycin are the 3 common antibiotics we get from microorganisms like fungi and bacteria. The first antibiotic discovered was penicillin. Okay, the first antibiotic discovered in human history was penicillin. It was prepared by a fungus called, from where it was obtained, the fungus named Penicillium notatum. Okay, Penicillium notatum was the main fungus from which this penicillin was obtained or discovered. Antibiotics are also mixed with the feed or livestock and poultry to check microbial infection in animals. So you may think that only we are humans, so whenever we are getting any disease, we take antibiotics, but this is not the truth. Other animals such as cow, dogs, whenever they become sick, there are some animal hospitals for animals also, like veterinary hospitals there. So veterinary doctors prescribe them antibiotics. For animals also there are some antibiotics. Okay, antibiotics are also used to control many plant diseases. So in case of plant diseases also antibiotics are used. So there are multiple use of antibiotics, but remember what is antibiotics. Antibiotics are nothing but the organisms, nothing but the medicines we get from microorganisms that help to kill the disease causing pathogen in our body. The three basic examples of what antibiotics are streptomycin, tetracycline and erythromycin. These two we get from fungi and bacteria. Then we have the name of the first penicillin discovered antibiotic is penicillin. From where it is obtained? It is obtained from fungi named Penicillium notatum. Okay. So nowadays what happens? People take antibiotic randomly. They think that okay, I've got a disease, after taking antibiotic I will become okay. But it is not the right procedure. Okay, there are some precautions we need to take before taking any antibiotic. Not only antibiotics, before taking any medicine you need to take some precautions. You cannot take it by your own. Okay, you need to, some doctor or physician need to prescribe it to you, and there are some common precautions you need to take. So let us study this. The first is antibiotics should be taken only when advised by a qualified doctor. So if the shopkeeper of your any known person or any senior person is telling you go and eat this medicine, you will become okay. Never do this. Okay, whenever any certified doctor or that is a physician prescribes you antibiotic, then only you should take you should take an antibiotic. Okay, we must complete the entire course of antibiotics prescribed by the doctor. This completely destroys the disease causing microorganisms in our body. We may fall ill again if we don't complete the course. This is also common to all. You all know this. If any doctor is giving you any antibiotic prescription, he is prescribing you some medicines, you must complete the course. Okay, your doctor is giving you 10 tablets. Okay, and after eating 3 tablets you are feeling that okay, I am okay now, so I will not eat any more medicine. But never do this. You should complete the course always. Okay, because if you leave the process in half, what will happen? There is a chance that in the future or in the near future you may again become ill. So always complete the course. We should not take antibiotics when not needed or in wrong doses. It may make the antibiotic drug less effective when it might really need the future. So what will happen if you take antibiotic without doctor prescription or in irregular way? If doctor has prescribed you only one medicine a day and you are thinking that okay, if I eat 2 medicine I will become good in short period of time, it will not happen. Okay, I'll become healthy in short period of time, it will not become beneficial to you. It will ultimately cause your health. Second is, if doctor haven't prescribed you any antibiotic, don't take it, because if unnecessary you will take antibiotic when it is not required, so what will happen? Your body will become the pathogen will become resistant means they will become used to with this antibiotics, and next time when you are sick and you need this antibiotic, then you are eating, but it will not work for you because you are eating multiple times. So these disease causing pathogens are used to these antibiotics. They will say okay, he is eating antibiotic, let him eat, no problem, because they have seen this antibiotics several times, they are used to. Now they have their own mechanism to fight this antibiotic also, so you will not become okay then. So whenever it is not required, do not take any medicine uselessly. Okay, okay, the next is antibiotics taken unnecessary may kill the beneficial bacteria in the body. Okay, the first example is in our gut. As I told in multiple classes, in our gut we have E. coli bacteria, that is Escherichia coli bacteria. Okay, so whenever you take any antibiotic, what happens? Whenever you're eating anything, every medicine has some side effect. You have heard this. So from this you may assume that whenever you take even medicine, it is serving your purpose. Like you are having any fever, you are eating medicine, but it is causing you some side effects also. So don't take unnecessary medicine. What side effect it can cause? It may kill all the beneficial bacteria whatever it is present in your body. It may kill. Okay. The next is antibiotics should not be taken when we are suffering from cold or flu caused by virus, because antibiotics are not effective against disease caused by virus. In this present situation of COVID-19, there are thousands of millions of medicine in market, okay, but you haven't seen any doctor prescribing any medicine for anti-COVID, because all these medicines are useless. Because for virus there is no medicine. Remember, for virus there is no medicine. You can take precaution, but there is no clear-cut medicine for any virus that it may kill the virus. Always remember this part. Okay, so whenever you are having a viral fever that is caused by virus, so then you should not take any medicine, because antibiotics are inactive against viruses. Okay, so now before ending this class, let us know this interesting fact. In 1929, Sir Alexander Fleming was working on a culture of disease causing streptococci bacteria in his laboratory. Suddenly found the spores of penicillium in one of the culture plates. Okay, what does the story says that he was a renowned scientist, Sir Alexander Fleming, in 1929 when he was studying in his laboratory with some staphylococci bacteria. What he observed that he observed the antimicrobial activity of penicillium. Okay, and eventually he have discovered penicillium. So the scientist who discovered penicillin was discovered by Sir Alexander Fleming in the year 1929 from microorganism name as fungi name as Penicillium notatum. Okay, this is for today. After this class, you may ask your doubts. Thank you.